The outside world believes that we get on a motorcycle and it's just about risk. That's the farthest thing that's about. It's about heightening all those other things. What you sense, what you feel, that awareness. The mental aspect of what we do is one of the main challenges. The sensation of the acceleration, the sensation of the deacceleration, the direction change. That's what is one of the most amazing things about riding a 200 horsepower motorcycle. As much as you feel like that it's about turning inward, it's actually not. Every corner is controlled chaos.
Once you've got the helmet on, that's it. It's you on your own around the circuit, ready to make things happen.
It's the best form of meditation. You know, people that talk about they meditate and they become more connected with everything. Well, riding a motorcycle is exactly that. The other thing is, it is about that awareness. Understanding that awareness that it takes to be able to see everything, like your peripheral vision, that sensation, all sensations. You know, a lot of people say you're about adrenaline. One of the most important things is keeping that emotion part out of it, because it's about it. Then the adrenaline goes up. When the adrenaline goes up, the next thing that happens is you don't think it's clear, and also your reactions is off. You have instinctive reactions, but you have to make the right decisions. It's a combination of discipline and control, but willing to push it to the absolute edge. And that is all in the mind. You know, one of the things that I liked about it was it gave me a lot of confidence.
Possibly 50 years ago, it was the norm for women to stay at home and be housewives and bring up the children, and for men to go to work. It was quite a masculine-oriented world back then, whereas now, there's nothing women can't do. It could be anyone under the helmet. It could be a girl, a boy, an alien, who knows? It doesn't matter.
It's not about being a girl or a man. You have to have a drive that isn't manufactured. You can't manufacture determination. You can't manufacture it, because if you do, or if you try to, it's going to show up at some point. Are you willing to be able to put in that last effort of training, be able to push yourself? Because you got to be able to push yourself to that edge of the envelope. You have to want to be in that position. You know, you have to want to be the pressure to be on you, to be able to get it done. It's the people, and what can they bring to the situation. That is everything.
My name's Faye. My team is FHO Racing, and we race in the British Superbike and Superstock 1000. I've been interested in motorsport racing since I was a little girl. I'm from Macau originally, and I grew up with Macau Grand Prix on my doorstep. Since I was little, I used to go watch it every year. It's like a big day in the calendar. When my parents died in a car accident in Portugal when I was 6, and my grandparents were the one that brought me up from 6 onwards. My grandfather's business is casinos and real estate in Macau. The last name is known over there. I remember my grandfather's sister used to have a house on the track, so we used to go up there before the racing starts and just stay there all day long. So basically we are on the track with just a barrier. So I remember I used to watch cars, bikes going past. It's just crazy. And I think that's where the passion came with racing, but then I really got introduced into bike racing. I believe it was 2007 in Macau, where I met the bike racers, and I just fell in love with the race. I just find it fascinating how they, you know, control the bike, how they lean. That fascinates me. I ran Peter Hickman in Macau 2018 and 19 with Podiums racing. So I know the lads.
Macau, yeah, it's an unusual place. It's a really cool circuit to ride at. The track's really technical, over 4 miles long, 6.4 kilometres or something, so over a 2-minute lap, so it's actually quite a long course. It's really not as easy as what people think, and having the walls there is really interesting. So it's the only circuit that I've ever ridden in my career so far, at least, where you cannot see through any corner, so every single corner is blind because it's lined by walls. It's been running now, or the Bike Grand Prix has been running for over 50 years. It's actually been part of the Macau culture now, a city, for a long, long time. But it's always a nice end of season party, especially when Faye Ho's involved.
I came to the UK to study around when I was 14. England is my second home, and I knew that when I was older, I knew I was going to move back here. I was brought into the paddock 2018. And I absolutely loved it. I loved the racing. I love how everyone just works well together in that paddock. It's like a big family, and I just wanted to be part of that.
So the Bennett's British Superbike Championship, or more commonly known as BSB, has been around in its current format for the last 25 years. It's renowned as being the biggest domestic motorcycle racing championship in the world, and it sits alongside the other two main championships, which will be MotoGP, which is the main prototype world championship, and World Superbikes, which is very similar to British Superbikes for production-derived bikes. So they are bikes which essentially can be bought from a motorcycle dealer. Then by regulation, they can be modified for racing conditions with certain engine modifications and external modifications. And it's a very accessible way of having the highest performance motorsport equipment on racetracks.
2020, we had the pandemic, which everything was kind of running behind closed doors. But that year, I went back into British Superbike, and I got approached by one of the members of Smith's Racing. And basically they said to me that would I be interested to take over the team.
I thought it was fantastic, to be completely honest with you. I mean, Faye, she could sit on a yacht in Monaco, drink champagne all day if she wants to, but she doesn't. She chose to go into motorsport, not only motorsport, but two-wheel motorsport, which is savage.
We know without question at the moment it's a very male-orientated sport, but we also know that from our fan base the percentage split is not so male-orientated. That's a really important message, and we want that to translate into the sporting side, and if there is more and more female participation, then that can only be good for everybody.
Before actually all the testing started, there was a bit of me think, you know, okay, I'll probably have to go into this a bit more skeptical and just be brave, because you just don't know how everyone's going to take it. For me, being a woman coming into a paddock,
it is brutal. You've got people rubbing shoulders with each other each weekend, crashing out, you know. It is an action-packed adrenaline sport, so it just made me love her, to be honest. I thought, wow. And then the way that she's approached this, I offered for them to come around mine for some drinks, and she was like, no, full time.
how are you doing?
We're here, we're doing testing, we're doing team bonding, we're doing this, we're doing that. Straight off the bat, professionalism, straight managing, this is how we're going to do things.
Yes, she's comes from a wealthy background. Unless you really know her, you wouldn't know any different if you met her. She probably doesn't have as expendable or as much expendable money as people think. I think everyone always makes up their own minds and think whatever they want to think, I guess, really. But you know, money for nearly everybody is not endless. But she does what she wants with it, and I'm fortunate enough that I'm in a position where not only does she want to run a really professional race team and spend the money where it really needs to be, which is on the bikes, that I'm also employed by her. So for me, all good so far.
Having Faye as a boss is pretty cool. I don't mind having a female boss. I think it's pretty cool. It adds some diversity to the sport as well, which is mega really. She's super passionate about everything. And quite easy, to be honest. She's pretty easy. She likes everything to be right. She likes everything to look right, which I do as well. So that makes my life a lot, a hell of a lot easier. Not having to convince her that we need something because it looks good. She already wants to buy it because it looks good. So And it's good for the whole team really, and I think just from the outside looking in you can see how much time and money and passion she puts into the sport. So yeah, she's really good actually, I enjoy it.
Motorsport's expensive, but you have to be incredibly passionate, and it's all in or nothing.
I really hope that by me stepping up to be a team owner, hopefully I will encourage a lot more women to actually come into this sport and not be afraid. Just because it is a very male-dominated sport, it doesn't mean that we can't do the same job. So I really do, I can actually, you know, motivate or actually have some sort of impact on it. I know that there are more female riders, and there are some, you know, coming along too, and it's good to see that. I think in management, I think we need some more females in the field.
So anyone new comes into a particular sport, and you could say it's the same in football where an outside manager that's not particularly known comes in, the feathers will be ruffled. Faye is very determined, she's her own person, and she is investing a huge amount of resource and obviously money into this project, and it's not there to make up the numbers. So others in the championship will react how they see fit, but you know, we would expect to see her up the sharp end.
It's a great package, a new package, a new dynamic in some ways in the paddock, and it's refreshing and it's healthy and good for the future.
Listen, it's all equal in life. There's some great women working Formula One, there's some great women working within MotoGP, World Superbikes. We've got girls working in our team of phenomenal, so yeah, listen, it is what it is.
So inevitably, with the relative freedoms that social media provides and the anonymity in which people can post, the more and more unfettered, nasty remarks appear, and they're extremely damaging. We're not accepting that, and on the principle of fairness and equality, that behaviour just isn't accepted.
Well, I think, you know, in this society, you know, you have Instagram, social media. I think, for me, I think everyone's got their own opinion. I mean, I don't really take it to heart, so I just do my own thing. I enjoy the racing, and that's what I'm focusing on. So, you know, for me, it really doesn't really bother me that much. So, I mean, you can't, in this world, it will always happen, that sort of thing. You just can't not kind of say, it's always in the back. It would never go away. So you just have to know how to handle it. At the end of the day, we're all human beings. It doesn't matter what race, gender, what we are. If we have a passion to do something, we have a right to go and do it. And that's how I live and, you know, do things how I want to do it. I didn't want to just come into the championship and just kind of run a team and try and win the championship. I want to come in and kind of make a difference. And for me to make a difference is helping, giving opportunities to riders. It's all about how the team works and all about how the team gels together. If you can actually have a team that is happy and likes to be there racing, and we're realistic that, you know, we don't drill on the fact that we lose or, you know, we make things better. I think that's how it works. And when you win, you're all on a high. It's like a bit of a drug. You kind of get addicted to it.
To be able to make it in the industry, you need to be competitive, you need to be fearless, you need to be completely ready to do anything. And I think if anyone's going to do it, Faye's the girl to run the team to do it.
I like a good challenge. And I can see, you know, nothing's impossible. I think if I have a good team, I have very good riders, and the team is very good. So I think if there would be a chance, you just don't know. And how do I put it, is I can't wait for the racing really, so we just have to see what happens.
I'd been a rider for the Smiths racing team since 2017 in the British Superbike Championship and the International Roads. So 17, 18, 19 and 20 I rode for Smiths Racing. Faye was actually a sponsor of the team. I'd ridden for Faye in Macau a couple of times, so she'd been sponsoring the Smiths team. I knew from previous conversations that Faye was really interested in maybe running her own team one day. Wasn't entirely sure how to do it. Smiths were coming towards the end of their road, really, of running their own team. They'd been running in the British Superbike Championship and International Roads for 10, 11 years, something like that. But they really didn't want to see the team disappear because it takes a long time to build a really good team. Me and Darren, my crew chief, kind of knew that was happening, so we kind of put the two together and said, look, Faye, do you really actually want to run your own team? Because if you do, starting it from scratch is really hard anyway. But there's an opportunity here to maybe take on a team that's already running. She said yes, which was good. And I guess the rest is kind of history. She bought the Smiths racing team, everything that they had, and then has put her own spin on it. And this is what you see here now. You know, it's in essence it's the same team, but it's very different at the same time. When she mentioned it before that she really wanted to run her own team, you never really know if somebody actually means it or not. It's a big thing to take on. It's a big commitment. It's expensive for a start, you know, and the teams don't earn money. You know, even with all the sponsorship that comes in and all the other things that come in, you know, the teams don't earn money, they spend money. That's what teams are really good at, is spending money. So you really need the right person to be involved that actually wants to run that team.
I've known Pete for the past 3 years actually, since 2018. He actually rode for me in Macau and won the race. I know he's a fantastic rider, fantastic on the road, so very happy to have him on.
Well, obviously Faye's not my first female boss. Rebecca Smith obviously ran the Smiths racing team. There's not many female bosses out there, I guess, you know, from a motorsport point of view in general. Obviously you've had Claire with Williams, and I think she must be the only one, I think, in the Formula One series. I don't know of any in MotoGP. And apart from Rebecca, Faye's the only one that's been in BSB, and certainly in recent times anyway. But they definitely run things very differently. They definitely have a different opinion on how things should be or the way that they should run. But having a female boss is, to me, doesn't really make any difference. Yes, they have their own ideas and maybe a different way of thinking to what us males do. It's different from that perspective, but you know, from a team running point of view, you know, the team runs the same. It doesn't. I think it's a nice, different thing, I guess, is the best way of trying to describe it, because that is that little bit of our team that it separates us from everyone else, and it's very difficult to try and separate yourself from anyone else. It's a difficult sport or industry to try and stand out in, and having a female boss definitely helps that.
Faye, rather than just becoming a financial partner, she went in all guns blazing and took over the team lock, stock and barrel, purchasing the assets of the team and very much taking the reins and putting it in a new direction with a real philosophy of international calibre riders, also looking at the support classes to nurture new riders, together with good support from some sponsors and BMW as a manufacturer. As a presentation exercise, really took the rest of the teams to task and raised the presentation levels.
Great to see crowds back here at British Superbike.
I just can't believe it's the first race in Oulton Park. The weather's fantastic today. I'm just counting down the minutes to the race starting, the first one. So it's very exciting.
It's lovely to see 4,000 people. It seems a lot more, to be honest, are scattered around this lovely setting at Oulton Park. So 615 days after we last had a crowd attend at a British Superbike. Oh, and there's a problem there for Tommy Bridewell. He put his hand up. Now is he all right? I think we're okay. The lights have been slightly delayed. When the lights go out, the race is on. Oh, and that's Danny Kent down, is it? It is. The first race at Oulton Park will go to Wollongong, Australia's Jason O'Halloran from McCann's Yamaha. Second, Christian Idden for Vision Track Ducati. Third place, Tommy Bridewell on the Oxford Products racing bike. That's another Ducati. Hickman's BMW in fourth place.
First one is in the bag. All the pre-race nerves, I think, will now start to flutter away. The championship's on its way.
You know, I really feel like we have got the pace to be at the front. Obviously, we're on the front row for this race now, which is good. So, same as yesterday, really. Same plan. Try and get away early and get away with the front guys and try and stay out of trouble and break the toe from everyone else, and then sort ourselves out later on.
Yesterday's race was 14 laps. This is a monster 18 laps. Will the tyres live up to this? Great start by Taron McKenzie. He comes round the outside of Hickman. So drama here at Alton Park as Jason O'Halloran retakes that second place from the menacing figure of Peter Hickman.
You know what I'm going to say?
It's O'Halloran who's going to do it again. And it's congratulations all round then in the McCams Yamaha camp. Delight for the FHO BMW squad. Their first meeting, of course, in British Superbikes, and they've got themselves a podium finish.
Yeah, it's great to be on the podium. Obviously, we were fairly close yesterday. The bike feels really good. I'm really happy for Faye and the FHO racing team. They've put so much into it. Brand new, a lot of money and a lot of time and effort's gone into it. So to repay them at round one with a podium is absolutely fantastic.
Chavi, unfortunately, had a bit of a fall in free practice one. He's okay, so he should be back for Knock Hill. Pete, oh my God, he's done very well. First round, and we have one first podium, which was fantastic. And he's third in championship at the moment, so even better.
There's a really nice atmosphere here. The racing has been great. I think the first couple of races we've seen a few tentative. Race one was kind of tentative. Race two we saw the guys step it up a little bit, but it was a bit more combative. And I really can't wait to see what happens in race three.
It was a bit strange where you wanted to do an interview with me on the start on Donington, and I thought that's a bit strange because normally we do it in front of the truck or anything with FHO behind us. So I just thought that's a bit weird. And then next minute I see everybody turning up. I thought, what kind of interview is this now?
My darling, would you marry me? Got the answer into that.
Yes. What was that? Oh, crap.
Oh, shake it.
I am Peter.
You said yes.
You said yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Do you know what? There's been a lot of talk about it in the paddock, of course. There's a lot of people that see it as a conflict of interest or whatever opinion they may or may not have about Stuart and Faye. But what people probably don't see, and they all think that we either get preferential treatment or we get things swung our way because Stuart's with Faye or whatever, and actually they couldn't be further from the truth. I think if anything, in fact I know that Stuart's actually been the opposite with us. It's actually been harder from a team point of view because I guess from his point of view, he deliberately needs to make sure that he's definitely not giving us any leeway with anything, which is fair enough. We've just got to kind of take that on the chin and get on with it.
So let's check out the standings. Well, we know that 75 points will be where Jason O'Halloran is, 60 for Christian Iden, 40 for Peter Hickman, 34 for Taron McKenzie, 2 points ahead of Tommy Bridewell.
So I think for Pete, when you got a good bike, he will do well on a good bike, and I can see that in Alton. For him to get on the podium that first round, I couldn't even believe it because I keep saying to myself at the beginning, if I get 1 or 2 podiums, I'll be happy.
They've ticked all the boxes, and that's incredibly difficult to do, especially if you start doing it weekend in, weekend out. That's going to be the key factor now to see if she's able to do that.
I don't know, we didn't have a plan as such, apart from obviously we want to try and win. The kind of plan really wasn't to try and win at round one, because we figured if we did that, she'd expect it every weekend. At least internally inside the team, we were kind of thinking, well, we don't want to start too fast because then she'll think everything's easy.
Massive achievement for her, you know, well done, you know this. But they had a very experienced squad around them, decent rider. But yeah, to bang it on the podium in the first round would be a major achievement.
for her to just come in and set this big team up, it was all very new. And it's difficult. You have to be really headstrong, and I think she did more than a good enough job of being a woman of steel. Yeah, she took whatever comments on the chin that she needed to, and she's learned a lot. If you ask her, I'm sure she'll tell you how much she's learned. She's you know, she's really picked up on it well, and sure, there's more things for her to figure out and understand, but overall, I think she's done an awesome job.
I'm realistic. I've only come into this so new, and I'm still learning. I mean, before the season started, I was getting the boys to teach me different parts of the bike. So I was learning, you know, the chassis, the swing arm, the mud guard, you know, all that sort of, the forks and everything. So, but yeah, like I said, that first round, I couldn't believe it.
She's actually really, really passionate about it, probably more so than what people give her credit for, really. What she's done in the team, and actually how proactive she's been in, not necessarily publicising herself, but actually talking to the cameras and talking on TV and on the grid and stuff like that, which I don't think you'd necessarily get so much from a lot of the other team bosses or team owners, which I think is a good thing. I think it actually it shows that she's a normal person, and it shows that she's actually got some proper interaction with the fans, which I think is a real big thing. The response that the team has got and she's got because of her availability is probably the wrong word, but yeah, her presence has been well seen, and yeah, it's been good.
When I decided on taking on Smith's Racing, I didn't want to just take on an existing team and run it how it was. I knew for a fact that when I come into the championship, I knew I had to make a bit of a statement. So when I took over the team, I basically rebranded it all and put a lot of investment in to upscale everything, just to make it a bit where people kind of take notice of it. So it comes in with a bit of a bang, and it has done that. I mean, the feedback I got from people, it was incredible.
When you put in the hard work, it does pay off in the end. But in motorsport, all your ducks have to align. You can get one bad tyre and your race is buggered. So the fact that they're able to tie that all in and win races, that means that they've ticked all the boxes, and that's incredibly difficult to do, especially if you start doing it weekend in, weekend out. That's going to be the key factor now to see if she's able to do that.
A lot of young riders are exposed to it through their family, association, or friends. Once you start doing it, what is so draws you to it is the sensations.
Well, here on the first visit to Knockhill for 2 years, and on pole position will sit the man of the moment, Jason O'Halloran, on the McCann's Yamaha, fresh from the triple victory he had at Oulton Park. Christian Idden, the man that followed him home in all of those 3 races at Oulton Park, he will sit alongside him on the front row of the grid, so certainly is going to be a cracker.
I love coming here. It was the first ever track that I rode at. I passed my race licence here.
It's been a big shame going to ride this weekend, but unfortunately I didn't pass the medical check. So I had to watch the race from the garage, which is something that I don't like it, but I have to accept it.
I always enjoy the trip up to Knockhill actually. It's a good little circuit. It's a really tough circuit on the riders.
We have the starting grid of 25 riders laid out before us, with Jason O'Halloran very much at the moment the man in charge. Josh Brooks preparing from the start from down in 13th place. Who's going to get the jump out of the front row? And absolutely good drive by Christian Idden from the centre of the front row. 9 laps out of 20. It's Christian Idden storming across the line. 35-year-old now from up on Tyneside. And behind him, O'Halloran, Hickman, Buchan. He's going to get it for Vision Track Ducati. Christian Idden's going to win it. O'Halloran, does he take second place across the line? He does by a bike length over number 83, Danny Buchan. Where has Hickman gone? Hickman's stopped.
Hickman stopped somewhere. It's been off. Has it been off? Or stopped?
No, it just looks a bit stopped.
It just looks like it stopped.
As you push to the edge of that envelope a little bit beyond, but the key is being able to reel it back in. belief in what you are going to do.
25 riders on the grid, and at the moment the rain 1.2, well, I think we could safely say at the moment that the rain has backed off. We've got terrific outlook here at Knockhill. Danny Buchan on pole position. He'd taken the lead when he had that massive moment at the hairpin yesterday. What can he do in Bennett's British Superbikes race 2 of the weekend here? 30 laps of Knockhill's 1.25 mile circuit. And an even start. Whoa, but did the Cassie get the drive on the inside of Buchan? I think it did. Danny Buchan, I thought, was closing in, but now finds Peter Hickman joining him. Fastest lap of the race right there goes to Bradley Ray, 47.73. Here's Hickman looking inside Buchan.
He's got it. Has he got it stopped?
Yes.
Yes, he has.
Oh! On to the 20th lap of 30. The line. O'Halloran, of course, would lose the lead in the championship by a gap there of 10 points through crashing out of this race. Whoa, and that Hickman has gone straight ahead.
I'll tell you what, that was a very scary situation, that.
Buchan wins it for Snetterton BMW, 2nd place for Taron Skinner, 3rd Taron McKenzie, Christian Inford, Bridewell, Vickers 5th and 6th, Hickman next over the line. Danny Buchan has taken a 2nd career race win here at Knockhill.
To get my first podium of the year, especially here at Knockhill, I was really happy with that, and yeah, solid race, hung in there with the leaders and then made my move on the last lap, and to hold 3rd, feeling good, feeling strong, and yeah, can't wait to get going.
Race was going really well up until the end, really. It seems like, you know, we're so close this weekend. We've really got the pace to be at the front and on the box, and it's not quite happening for us at the moment. It's really tough to be that close and not actually get the result that I feel that the team and myself deserve.
Difficult weekend. It looked promising. Started on the 2nd row in every race, which is really, really positive. And we've definitely got the pace. Lady Luck just didn't shine on us.
I remember Darren kept saying to me, you get the highs, but then you get the lows. We just have to keep going. And I'm like, yes, you're right. Okay, we'll keep going. So that was the first kind of little bit of low that I was getting. But I knew, you know what? We're going to try again in the next round.
My name is Neil McKenzie. I'm the father of Taron McKenzie.
My dad is Neil McKenzie, 3 times British Superbike champion in 1996, 1997 and 1998.
A dad with 2 kids that race, then you support them from their early days when they're having fun, and then things get a bit more serious. And you just keep going and going. They're 2 kids that never give up, which makes it easy to give them parental support.
I know now very well. We were teammates years ago, and he knows what it takes to be a champion. But the most important thing is he knows what it takes to be the right supporter to help someone get the most out of their ability to be champion. And that is where it's a perfect combination for Taron. He has to have the determination to get it done. I think the other thing is patience. You know, the patience that Neil would have to be able to listen and to be able to, again, support in the right way.
Being an ex-racer as a parent is not necessarily a good thing, because you understand what they're going through, the highs and the lows and the pain. Whereas a parent who maybe hasn't raced just sees their kids enjoying themselves.
Growing up, it was actually kind of a good thing for me having Dad there. We cut a lot of corners when we first started out racing, me and my brother Taylor, so we probably had it a little bit easier when we were younger, but then growing up, the harder it gets, that's when I've got to put the hard work in, and I can't just rely on Dad doing some stuff for me. So having Dad there is great. He's obviously got a bit of a name in the bike racing world, but sometimes that can work the opposite way, and people think there's maybe a bit more pressure for me to perform, but I've never felt like that in any situation really. And as having him as my dad, he's been there and done it all. He understands the ins and outs of it all. Any place that I kind of race, I'd always like him to be there and support me. I think bike racing, I don't know why, it kind of attracts this father-son relationship, and a lot of my friends in the paddock, their dads are always there. It's kind of a family sport at the same time, and your family can come along on the race weekends and enjoy it, and yeah, good family bonding.
Motorcycle racing is an incredibly immersive pastime, and you don't have to go very far into the paddock to find second generation examples. In 2021 we of course got the Mackenzie family racing, Tarrant and Taz. Their father Niall was a 3-time British champion and also raced at Grand Prix level. Across all the support classes you see dad wielding the tools or being on the grid with son and obviously going forward daughter on the grid racing. So it's a real credit to the families that the enthusiasm and the candle for racing burns so bright.
I got approached by 2 parents, and one parent, Kevin, his daughter is racing in the Junior Supersport, and he wrote me a message and said, "Look, Faye, would you mind just coming to meet Scarlett just to give her a bit of encouragement so she can have you as a role model because you own a team and to her it's fantastic." So I said, all right, yeah, why not? We can do that. So I went over to their tent and met them. Scarlett was on one side, so I was talking to Kev regarding Scarlett. And then next to her was Charlotte. So when I was speaking to Kevin, I thought, hold on a minute, we've got 2 girls here. And I thought, this is a great opportunity. I can actually have them run under my wings if they want the support, and try and see if they would like to run under FHO colours, and give them a bit of a platform where they can have a bit more drive to actually, a bit more, they can accomplish things to actually try and run the, get to the top end of the championship and enjoy it. From now, I will be helping Charlotte and Scarlett in a journey where they will be a bit more involved with FHO racing, because how I see it is, I want to look after the girls in more either technical support or even a mental support. So for me, I'm just so happy to be, part of this little team, and all I can say is go power.
Helping the girls obviously is a big passionate thing for her because she's a female in a very male orientated industry. So when she had the opportunity to help the girls out, she took it straight away, and I think that's awesome. To be able to do something that she believes in and wants to believe in, and push the people that she wants to push and help is fantastic. And they're more than welcome to come and ask me any sort of questions they want for advice or whatever it may be, which I'm more than happy to give.
I'm so happy to see that, we're starting to get more girl races, and I think this is one reason why I kind of want to step in and actually be a bit more involved and kind of give them a bit more encouragement and show them that, we can do it too, not only the boys. So, it's nice to see. For me, to see them having a passion like this is a breath of fresh air, really. But, seeing them so dedicated to what they're doing, and they're enjoying it too, So I think that's the main thing.
When she first came into the paddock, we straight away were like, we need to meet her, because it's mad thinking that you can get your own team all to yourself, plan it all out, and it's exactly like, well, yeah, we can do it too.
I think it's really inspirational as well for girls like me and Charlotte who are racing as well, because it's like women can do it. And I remember talking to Faye, and she was saying a lot of men were saying you're never going to be able to do it, you can't run your own team, and it's like proving them wrong. And then at the stage she's at now, and it's like one of the biggest teams in the paddock, and it's just really inspirational for me especially.
I would love it to become my job. It's always been something I've wanted to do, because it's in the paddock, it's such a good atmosphere, it's like its own little world. And even if I never become that far up, I'll still race, and I'll make sure I'm involved in the paddock, even if it's just being part of a team and helping out with other riders as well.
I think it'll just take a load off them, and it'll give them a lot of confidence, and it'll give them drive. They'll already have drive. The fact that they're putting leathers and a helmet on in the first place to race hundreds of miles an hour around a circuit, they've got drive. However, this is going to give them that extra boost because they feel so supported in the sport that they love and they're passionate about that they'll only excel.
This has been bubbling away for a while, and what's really sort of brought this to the fore is the class that they're racing in. This junior supersport class is fantastic. It's filled a gap that was really needed for the youngsters. They know they can run and compete on equal terms with the guys. You know, for young lads as well, of course, it's a great way into racing. So a lot of these girls have been there in the background, racing on even smaller bikes and coming through, and then, yeah, I'm really glad to see this class at BSB. It's really important. And they've all gone, yeah, we want to come to BSB, why not? And fantastic to see so many here. I'm really pleased to see Faye in the paddock. I think it's really fantastic what she's doing, and it's just important to see women in these roles, you know, for everyone, for men and women. I have managed to turn mine into a career. It is a job, not the easiest job in the world, but it's the best job in the world. And to hear them say that is quite magical, really, because why can't they? Why can't they go after that like the other young lads in the same series? There's no reason why they can't.
I think we just need to kind of like give the younger generation a bit of a chance, a bit of a kind of like help to kind of get their, give them a bit more experience to kind of like work their way up, really.
It's amazing she's setting up like a little foundation for these girls to try and progress through bike racing. They've got good equipment and good bikes, and it's down to the girls to get better, start working hard and trying to perform just as good as the boys, really. I'm sure they'd beat me in an arm wrestle, and there's no reason why they wouldn't be able to kind of wrestle these bigger bikes around the UK circuits.
Yeah, they're heavy machines and the physical, but the fact is Taz is on a good day 57 kilos, and he's tuned as much as he can be for strength and cardio fitness, but the fact is he's small. He's 5'6" or 7". And 57 kilos. So the bigger, stronger guys can muscle their bikes around, but there are other ways to get a bike through fast corners, slow corners, stopped, accelerating. There are other ways that Taz uses to get his bike round, and that being the case, there's no reason why females can't do the same. So yeah, it's obviously the majority of the paddock or the racing community is boys or males, but the more girls there are coming through the junior championships, the more chances there are of them making it into Supersport or Superbike.
So in the junior Supersport category, which is for 14 to 22-year-old riders, we had an FHO supported entry for Scarlett Robinson and Charlotte Macuso. Really has got the attention and interest of a real diverse audience, and you know, we've seen from the championship much greater interest in this particular activity.
There's going to be about 8 of us in the class, and it's like so many people were commenting like how good it was for FHO to do something like this, and it's just brought so much more awareness to like girls are in it and we can do quite well, and like there's no difference between us and the boys. It's like we're all riders at the end of the day and we just all want to achieve the same thing.
I feel it's almost a genetic thing. If you're a biker, you're instantly part of a community, and it's a small, close-knit community that's incredibly supportive.
Again, it goes back to you know, giving someone the opportunity, and I think diversity in everything is so important. It may take a few years, but it's the opportunity. It's someone like Faye believing in them, giving them a chance, but it's also them being able to have the time to develop and to do it, and to be able to get in the right physical conditioning. But it's that mental side of it is important too. It's about the evolution of things. It's not only the acceptance, but it's also the female riders really believing that they can do it. That's the hardest part about when riders don't get the opportunity, is they have to be able to develop the skills. And that's whether it's male, female, whatever, to where they have that mental toughness to be able to do it. Absolutely, female rider could do it. If it's right for them, then you have to be willing to support it like my parents did for me.
The more diverse the sport can be, then the more people will be interested and the better the sport will be.
I'm sure that one day they'll be at the front battling for wins with the other boys.
Things are happening in the UK. In the British Superbike paddock now, we've got good, sensible junior championships, Junior Supersport, which is a cost-effective championship. It's on TV. It's with the British Superbike Championship, so it's on the best racetracks in the UK, and manufacturers involved. So the grid is full, so that's good for the beginners.
We're all driven by history, and it's one of the great things that we have in all sports is that level that you're trying to achieve, and in our case in motorsports, the tracks that we go to, the uniqueness of them, the history behind it certainly puts a little extra pressure on.
There's so many junior championships now. There's talent cups in America, Northern Europe, Asia, Europe, Britain, but there's only a few are ever going to make it. So there's masses of kids, which is great. The more the merrier. But there's only ever going to be a handful that actually make it. So it's the X factor situation. There might be a few disappointed, but hopefully they have a good time along the way.
It's not about just winning. It's about it gave me my purpose, the opportunity to work and to enhance what I see, what I sense, what I feel, and that's the foundation. And so I'm, as you know, big believer in it's the people and what can they bring to the situation instead of people looking at it as the old way or this is the established way. Is you look at the person and what they're bringing to it and respect that, because that makes it, raises the level for everyone. I think Faye does that.
Now that she's stepping in and helping young girls in the sport as well, I mean, there's no stopping Faye. It's amazing.
I've been in top-level motorsport for 30 years, and one of the things I've really noticed in the last few years is a massive drive to increase female participation. I mean, all accessibility across all levels. The motorsport has a lot of big advantages. Once a rider or a driver has the helmet on and is on a bike or in a car, there's no way that the paying spectators or the TV viewers can see whether it's a man or a woman, whether they're able-bodied or disabled, whatever their sexuality is, whatever their race, colour or religion is. So from an accessibility point of view, motorsport is fantastic from that point of view. And I've seen a real drive to encourage more girls across engineering, across team management, and also more and more now are getting into riding and driving. And that's absolutely, there's been a lot of traditional female roles, if you like, in terms of race team secretaries and hospitality and marketing and that sort of thing. It's great to see a much broader pool. And we at Motorsport Network are certainly very active in helping to drive that. We work very closely with the FIA, the governing body of car racing, to encourage more women to participate in motorsport. And it's great to see that Faye Ho here in British Superbikes is a real trailblazer and is doing the same thing here.
It's fantastic to see so many fans back. It's incredible. The atmosphere is so different.
It's going to be the first race of the season for me, so I will try to enjoy. I will try to go ahead in order to get some miles on the bike and try to enjoy this first race and get some experience on the bike.
Mackenzie's on pole. Bridewell, Skinner alongside him. Josh Brooks is in 12th place. They're coming across the line now with Mackenzie leading the way. A big start by Christian Idden. Gets huge draft as they go into paddock and passes Bradley Ray. So Idden then moving in on the McCams Yamaha. Oh, hang on. Peter Hickman, who had a problem early in the first running of this race. Taron Mackenzie takes victory then for McCams Yamaha ahead of the Oxford Products Racing Ducati of Tommy Bridewell. Third place, Christian Idden, Vision Track Ducati. Fourth, Genetic BMW, Danny Buchan.
I got my first win on the Saturday and I ended up being king of brands as a third and a second after that, and just a real strong weekend and got a taste for winning and taste for the podium again.
Well, this weekend's been up, down, just like the weather, I'll say, but it's been fantastic. Obviously, we had a bit of issues yesterday, but this last race with Pete and Chavi, they were actually good position, so looking forward to Thruxton. Obviously, it's a track that Pete likes, so we'll see what happens. But you know, I'm happy for the boys.
When you see any sports star, you don't see the expense, the sacrifice, and the sweat that has gone into making it to where they are, from all aspects. And it starts in motorcycle racing too. For anyone to get onto a track day, you've got your leathers, your helmet, your boots, your gloves, your underwear. That's basic. Then you get your bike, then you get your insurance, then you get your fuel. Everything mounts up. So it's not a cheap sport to begin in, but there is no sport where you will get the thrill like you do on a motorbike.
The sacrifices that the teams and riders make to compete, much like other sports where you see people literally throwing everything at the activity, was amply demonstrated in the case of both Charlotte and Scarlett. And I was astonished to hear just in conversation how both parents are essentially living in caravans because they've sold their houses to fund their daughters' racing activities, with the utter commitment and belief that their daughters would indeed succeed and make a career out of motorcycle racing, which is a tremendous belief, and they deserve every success going forward.
Racing for me and Scarlett it's our world really. It's what we do. It's what we do best. It's where we connect on a very positive level. I don't think she'd want to go racing without me. We've got a real strong connection, and it's our life really. We've made it our thing, and it takes us away from all the troubles and stresses that we've had over the years, and it gives us something to focus on, something really positive. She lives with her mum over in the north side of Manchester during the week, and she spends literally every weekend with me and most of the holidays with me, and of course most of that time is spent at race meetings. It is mega expensive. Basically I'm self-employed. I earn a decent wage, and I've actually sold off quite a few assets in the last couple of years just to keep us racing really. And I've just downsized. When I was married to a mother, we had a 4-bedroomed house in the Peak District, which I sold 2 years ago. Made quite a few quid on that, so we put probably 100 grand of that into the racing fund. I downsized again to a 2-bedroomed house, and then more recently I've actually sold that house, bought myself a really smart motorhome which we kind of live in really. It's always a worry that if you have a massive crash, you know, where's the money going to come from to replace the bike or repair the damage? But you know what, you just find a way. You just find a way, and you know, if it meant I've got to sleep in a tent, I would do. She's aware of the financial pressure it puts on me, but you know, she's a good kid. She never asks for anything. I do spoil her, obviously, she's my daughter, and but she never actually asks for anything. She's quite industrious herself, really. She's quite careful with money, and she's very money conscious, and she's aware that, you know, whilst we're doing this, we're not doing other stuff, and I don't go on holiday, and I don't spend a lot of money on myself. I tend to spend all my money on racing, really. So yeah, financial pressures are there, but you know what, you're only here once, aren't you? You've got to go for it, haven't you, really? She's been around racing pretty much all her life. I mean, she went to her first MotoGP when she was 3 months old. She was just focused on the bikes, and she used to stand at the gates at Donington watching the MotoGP bikes go past and just watching the bikes, fascinated by them, and she's just become like myself, really, a bit obsessed with them. And I think if you'd have asked her at 5-year-old what she wanted to do, she would have said a motorcycle racer. Obviously the biggest thing for us is joining FHO. It's definitely the right thing to do, and it's definitely made a big impression on Scarlett and myself, and it's made riding and going to BSB a real pleasure, you know, to be around these decent people and people who can help us and hopefully nurture Scarlett's skills and take her forward. It's been a massive help, and we couldn't have done it without you, really. I started off racing motocross and supermoto, and I've grown up in the BSB paddock my whole life. My dad's sponsored quite a few riders like Christine Idden. So then we decided to get me the Ninja 400, and I've been racing in Thundersport Super Teams for the last year, and then we decided to get me to the next stage to
bring me into this paddock to help me improve even more. There is the odd few that don't like getting beat, and they're willing to put a more aggressive move on you, or when you come in there's no eye contact or anything. It's just, they can get quite annoyed, but I think the majority of them are quite supportive and just want me to do well.
As Scarlett said, some can be really off and they just really don't like it, but what I see, and a lot of other people agree with me, is we're not girls and boys, we're just riders. So it doesn't actually make a difference. Yeah, they might be a bit more muscly, but that doesn't make a difference. We're exactly the same, we can race the same, and we can win, just like Anna Carrasco has.
I want to see how far I can get in junior super sport, because in my size I think I'll stay in juniors for a good few years and then see how I progress, and then the next stage would be a 600 and then see how I get on with that.
We're hoping to obviously do really well this year and just make improvements and learn as much as we can, and then possibly just try out other bikes, other styles to see what suits me best and get as far up as possible. I've never done dirt tracking or everything. We went straight into British mini bikes on a 140 pit bike, just as a little bit of fun, because Dad's always loved bikes and he one day just found out that I actually could ride. And when I found that out, that was a dream come true, let alone being here right now. And then we went through there, started winning championships and thought we need to make that big step up. Then we rode 300 last year in Bemsey and thought we'd make the jump this year.
Sacrificing, I wouldn't say I've really sacrificed, but in order to fund it, I have obviously had to make some choices in life that probably not many people would do. For example, a couple of years ago I had a house. I'm now living in a motorhome, and it's all to fund the racing. And that's, I suppose, people will see that as a sacrifice, but actually it's as much my passion as it is for Charlotte's. You know, I'm passionate about giving her the best opportunity I can, and getting her noticed. You know, with the likes of FHA Racing and within the paddock as well, British Superbike paddock. You know, there's people that definitely can see she's got talent and they want to get behind her now. So the sacrifice has been worth it. I've always wanted to race. I've always had fancy having a go. I would try and do at least one season's racing at a club level before I got too old. I'm probably too old now, but who knows. But everything I've got now goes into Charlotte's racing. So you know, I want to give her the best opportunity I can. Whatever happens, she wants to be in the motor industry, whether it be as an engineer or a racer. I think they go hand in hand, really. You've got to cover all bases, because racing is a hard game. It really is, and anyone that goes into racing doesn't go into it necessarily for making money. They go into it because it's a passion, and passion will only get you so far. But I firmly believe she can make it, and I think she's now starting to believe she can make it as well.
It's very, you know, heartwarming to see that their parents have sacrificed so much to actually give their children the opportunity to kind of do what they like, and I have to say I respect that a lot.
For parents who are having to sacrifice so much for their daughters, or for their kids. Motorsport's expensive, but you have to be incredibly passionate, and it's all in or nothing.
For any parent out there that believes they're making a sacrifice, they need to ask themselves one question: am I doing this for myself, or am I doing it for them? That parents is willing to sell their home and live in a motorhome, but there's no greater joy than to make that sacrifice, you know, to be able to really support, you know, their children. And I know that, I'm aware of that, and I know what my parents did, and you know, it's an incredible thing, and it's why that there's, you know, I respect it so much, and you know, it's the greatest gift we can give our kids, is be willing to do that for them. Your own expectations are such to where you actually go out and you try too hard. Riding a motorcycle is, at your best, is about a rhythm. It's about a certain comfort level.
No Ryan Vickers there on the front row. McCann's Yamaha have it all to themselves. So this is it. 26 laps. This is the first of two major races here for Bennett's British Superbikes at Donington Park on the national circuit. And Taron McKenzie trying to get to Redgate ahead of his teammate, and he does. Christian taking that early line, but allow. Oh, and he's knocked off for the second time in successive rounds. Christian Idden is taken out. So on to the 17th lap of 26 then, with McKenzie still in control. Remember he said, James, he mentioned to you that he was disappointed that he didn't win yesterday. He felt he had the pace to go with, Jason.
We said...
Oh, and who's that?
That's
Glenn Irwin.
That's Glenn and is that Lee Bob or is that Rory Skinner?
Rory Skinner.
Rory.
Brad Ray gets inside Jason O'Halloran. Brad Ray could sort this completely for Taron McKenzie. McKenzie, Willie, here goes Brad Ray in an absolute blanket finish. It's McKenzie, Ray O'Halloran, Hickman, Brightwell ride.
It's Ray. What is it? One screen says McKenzie Ray, the other one says Ray McKenzie.
Turns out to McKenzie Ray. They thought that they had it on screen.
I didn't sleep much on the Saturday night at Donington Park. But again, I woke up on Sunday morning full of determination, and that was probably one of my best races of the year. I pulled a 3.5 second gap, I think, over the others. And it was all fair and square. Jason was kind of in a podium position, and I just put some good laps together and pulled away. But unfortunately the safety car came out with 2 laps to go, and it brought everyone together again, but still managed to get the job done, which was great.
All the tracks I'd read about when I was a kid, you picture what they are. And so when you go there and you see it for the first time, it's an amazing feeling. For me, the other thing is the type of layout it is, how difficult it is. You're motivated to put even more pressure on yourself because you want to do well there.
Cadwell's always been a really good track for me. It is my local circuit. It's really technical. A thinking rider's circuit. You've got to plan everything, and you've got to be absolutely millimetre perfect, never mind inch perfect. And that's something that I've probably got from my dad, who used to race back in the 70s, and I grew up with him running teams and running riders. He's been a good rider coach as well once he finished racing. Cadwell's always one of our most well-attended rounds, if not the best attended round of the year, with kind of 55, maybe even 60,000 people there. It's basically built in a valley, which is really, really cool, which also gives you that nice amphitheatre kind of feeling, and obviously has probably one of the most famous sections of tarmac in the world, which is the mountain, where you actually see bikes, sport bikes, coming off the floor on a short circuit properly and actually jumping. You know, when you watch people like Josh Brooks doing basically a motocross jump. I've not always had good results there, but generally speaking, I've been pretty successful around Cadwell.
You can't hear it because of the engine, but you certainly can see the reaction to the crowds. The atmosphere, I mean, is certainly amazing.
BSB Superbikes qualifying sees Glenn Irwin for the local Honda team on pole position. Glenn's had a couple of podiums in the last couple of rounds, certainly he's coming back to form. Peter Hickman, another Lincoln lad, is alongside him on the front row of the grid, and a rider that leads the championship from Australia but lives in Lincolnshire nowadays is Jason O'Halloran, and he's on the McCann's Yamaha on the outside of the front row of the grid. Very much a local affair.
Happy with Pete's results. Obviously, it's our home round, you know, so he should know this circuit well. So I think, you know, he should do well here. But let's see how the race go, I guess.
Race 1 of the weekend at Cadwell Park, the wonderful Party in the Park. 14 laps of this 2.2 mile circuit. Great start by Glenn Irwin, and a terrific start by Irwin. Hickman said he wanted to get away with them, preferably ahead of them. He has got away with them. New lap record, 126.35 for the Derbyshire-born Lincolnshire resident, Peter Hickman. We're on the 7th lap of 14. Oh, big mistake by Irwin. Oh, listen to those two bellowing engines, the Yamaha versus the Vision Track Ducati. Oh! Huge moment for Taron McKenzie. Loses the back end as he's squirting out of the hairpin, gets thrown over the top. Taron McKenzie, lucky boy, thank goodness he's up on his feet. Yeah. Meanwhile, absolutely untroubled, Faye Ho's brand new team in the British Superbike Championship is about to take its first victory in the hands of who else but the man who is now domiciled in Lincolnshire. The big man, Peter Hickman, wins again at Cadwell Park. Second for Jason O'Halloran, joy for FHO Racing. And for these guys at McCann's Yamaha, well, they saw the unfortunate demise of Taron McKenzie, but they've seen Jason O'Halloran rack up more solid points and podium points here at Cadwell Park.
Great ride from Peter Hickman, that.
Congrats to Pete, rode a great race. He got to the front at the right time and got a gap. I felt like we were quite even. The last sort of lap or two, I just sort of buttoned it off a bit because I knew I had a big gap behind me.
To actually bring it home, especially after the bad luck the team's had and myself had over the last couple of rounds. Yeah, absolutely mega. You know, I just can't thank everyone enough. And Faye's first BSB win, it's her first year. You know, the team's only 10 minutes down the road, as am I, and all these local fans about. There was fans all the way around the track. It's really awesome to see. So happy.
What a victory for us as a team. You know, there's a lot of effort that goes in behind the scenes, and yeah, everyone's worked hard for this race win, and you know, for Pete to finally go out there and get a victory for the FHO racing team is fantastic. So this is what we come racing for, and you know, we're all part of it together. We all want to go and win races, and yeah, Pete's finally done that for us at, this weekend at Cadwell.
That was very nerve-wracking, I have to say, but my goodness me, I mean, I'm over the moon, and it's fantastic to get a win. I'm lost for words, really. But yeah, Pete rode very well. Obviously, you know, this is our home round, so you know, I guess there's a bit more pressure for us. But I mean, I can't ask for anything more. So my first win, it's been amazing.
It's probably the question I get asked the most is, will we break the lap record again next year? And my answer always is only if it needs to be broken. Lap records are awesome to have, but they don't really mean anything. It's just, you know, it will always get broken eventually by somebody at some point, whether that be myself or someone else. And you win the race at the slowest possible pace, and that goes for any racing really. You know, there's no point in winning by a minute. It doesn't make any difference to the result. You can win by 0.1 of a second or a minute or 10 minutes or whatever it may be. It doesn't make any difference. The result is exactly the same. So the faster you go, the more risk you've got. So you win at the slowest possible pace.
The second to last corner, I had a little wheelie, which you do every lap, which is fine, but it became a little bit crossed up, and as it landed, it just drifted me out to the white line, and yeah, I clipped the white line, which then put me on the grass, and the next thing I was up and over the barriers with a broken finger and the bike that was nearly in the lake. So that was my weekend done at that point.
Toning down the fact of me pushing it to the limit that I do would be the part that is instinctive for me. And that would be the part that would get me in trouble riding on the road course, because you don't have that margin of error. The risk level is certainly much greater on the road than it is on a regular road circuit.
Obviously it rained a lot overnight. It was a wet warm-up this morning, but it looks like, fingers crossed, it might actually clear up in time for the first race today, which is race 2 of the weekend, so we'll see what happens.
Second race of the weekend then for the Bennett's British Superbike Championship. And the grid is headed by Peter Hickman, who stole victory yesterday. Conditions almost perfect here at Cadwell Park. Good start by Peter Hickman. O'Halloran gets alongside him, elbows out. Eaton getting overhauled on the left-hand side by Glenn Irwin. Oh! And Eaton's gone down.
Oh!
That last sector for Hickey there through Hull Bend, it just looks like he's on a Sunday ride.
Yeah,
turning left to right.
And we're talking about Hickey, your leader there, big rangy and all that. Yeah, and that was the other typical Cadwell move, that.
Peter Hickman takes victory. Second place for Jason O'Halloran to further extend his championship advantage, and hugs all round once again for Faye Ho and her fledgling team.
everyone, I mean everyone was just so excited, and he crossed the line and we were all jumping, hugging each other, saying, oh my God, you know, he's won, he's won. And I turned around and I saw our data guy, Pete Clifford. I mean, he had tears in his eyes. It was just, I think it was the moment where we thought, you know what, we've done it. We've actually done it. And it was incredible. I couldn't believe it. That weekend was the best weekend for the team. And when we did the team picture, just to hear the fans calling us, they were even calling my name too. Faye, can we have a picture? And I'm like, okay, yeah. That just makes you feel like you've done something right.
Dad's always been a biker since when he was little, and he wanted to do what I've been able to do, but never got the chances, and he's really living through me at the moment, and that's why he's given me so much opportunity, because he sees that I'm really thriving in his environment, and him being around the paddocks like more than he's ever been. He's right stuck in it, and he's got his own team. He would have never dreamed of having that, but he's always followed racing and watched it and just been a mad biker. The reason I did start racing was because it was Dad's passion, really. I really didn't have that much interest, although I was a big fan of Tommy Hill. But then once I started going, I was really nervous and didn't quite enjoy it as much as I thought I would. But then once I got that buzz and I got the feeling of, wow, I'm actually proper doing something extraordinary here, that's when I proper started to love it. If someone has a passion, you can kind of relate to it and say that if you love this so much and it brings you joy and it brings you freedom, it just takes you away from everything else in life and really just makes your life, then that's how you relate to it.
Charlotte's studying engineering and A-level in maths and science, physics, so yeah, she's clever girl.
She's a very driven, motivated student. You know, she's an able mathematician. Conceptually, she understands physics really well. She supports colleagues in lessons. You know, so she seems to have no struggles whatsoever. We've mainly been focusing on mechanics and motion, so you know that obviously relates to the motorcycling quite a lot, and she's been doing really well. You know, she seems to balance the studies and all of her time with motorcycling. I heard some of the other fellow students talking to her about it, and it sort of caught my attention because it is something you're not used to hearing so much about necessarily with with girls in particular. So I asked Charlotte about more how did she get into that, and she talked to me about it and what level. I asked about like the CC of bike she's riding and all the rest of it. Obviously she knows it inside out, and yeah, it's just fascinating to hear about really. I'm sure she'll go on to do very well.
I'm really proud of Charlotte and how far she's come. Like, I remember running around with her as a child and now thinking that she's gone so far and successful being a racer. It's really incredible to think about it and almost unbelievable.
I have to say the most pressure is me on myself. I've always been one for striving for more. I have to get like the best grades, the best results, and just it's never been my parents. They've always worried and asked me, but I've always told them it's never been you. I want to make you proud, but I also want to make myself proud and know that I'm doing something that's not just boring, that's not being at home all the time. It's actually extraordinary, and I just love it.
Charlotte's a massive role model for girls who want to go into racing, because when we were growing up and we used to watch racing, I didn't see any girls, and I think it would be awesome to see a girl going out there and do what she wants, being a racer.
I've always wanted to obviously get to the top, but I never really thought I'd even get to this point in life. I never even thought I'd be racing a bike, let alone just riding one on the road when I was older. But now that I am, it's very out of my comfort zone when I was little, but where I am now, I just find it's normal life for me. And then I just want to try, hopefully, get to as far as I can and go up and up.
I'm currently studying a BTEC level 3 in sport, so it involves loads of things like coaching, fitness, instructing and stuff like that. I'm hoping that after I leave college, sort of go into personal training and then in the bike industry sort of work with riders and do like bike specific fitness and training.
Scarlett as a student, I guess really she's a rare breed. We don't hear anything off all the tutors about anything but anything good about her. She comes in, does the work, she performs in class, she's really keen and she gives us really good feedback when we ask her questions. To be honest, I think it took us a little while before we knew that she was actually competing in her sport in motor racing. We didn't know anything about it. She's so humble and down to earth that I think you've actually got to formally go and ask her about her actual sport before she actually lets it out of the bag. So she's just the ideal student, attendance-wise, producing work, so she's really smart and the work we get off is a really good level. So academically she's got it in the bag as well as physically within her sport.
So she's at college, so she's actually doing really, really well, and despite the fact that we have a lot of time off for racing, we're away most weekends, but they're really good about it. And because what she's doing is kind of like an elite sport, she actually won a scholarship last year where she actually gave us some money towards the racing, which is quite unusual really. I think it's very rare to do that. You know, even if you'd have asked her 10 years ago what you want to do for a job, she would have probably said a motorbike racer. And it's all well and good having those dreams and aspirations, but you've got to be able to do it. So of course, when she first started riding, you know, you kind of your heart's in your mouth a bit really. But as she started getting better, I thought actually she could actually do this, you know. And it's just become it's kind of like an obsession for us really, for both of us. And I think between us, we're doing a pretty good job at the moment. And with Faye's help, things are just getting better and better. But it's, you know, if you ask Scarlett the question, what does it mean to you? She would probably just say it means absolutely everything. She's really keen on her college work and she's really keen to do well and get good results and good exam results and get a career. But at the same time, she really wants something that fits in around the racing. So if she could go as a full-time personal trainer and nutritionist or whatever, as long as she could get the time off to go racing, that would suit her perfectly.
I feel quite a lot of pressure, especially because I'm in my second year now, so we've got loads of assignments, and then especially since I've joined FHO, you feel a bit more pressure with having to train a lot harder as well, and I've got the gym as well to balance in between, so it is difficult, but sort of found like a way of balancing it, like at home just doing my assignments all the time and then going to the gym and then straight to racing.
She must be superhuman for her age, because I know that if I was competing at that level, dealing with that pressure and then trying to produce all the coursework and taking part in the practicals, I don't think I would land it too well, and she just seems to be cruising really well. But maybe in turn what she's learning is going hand in hand with what she's doing in terms of her motor racing. The fact that she's managed to get into such a niche sport, and it's looking like really she's got the promise to actually make something of herself as a female in that sport is amazing. But yeah, I'll be honest, I didn't even consider females in that sport before Scarlett came along, so she's created awareness for that sport without actually knowing she's done it.
I can see that they're really pushing themselves, and it's good to see. So obviously for 2022, I'll be helping the girls again, riding in the PSB Championship.
3 girls have been really good. They listen, they're polite, they're well spoken, and appreciative of what Faye is giving them, which is a massive thing. You know, there's a lot of times in sport where, or in our sport in particular, for some reason, where people really think that they deserve everything and deserve to be given the world, and you know where they're starting at in the minute actually is the opposite. They need to prove that they're worth whatever they're going to get given, and when people do get that support, a lot of the time they don't give back what they should. And from what I've seen so far, all girls have been the opposite of that. They've been really appreciative, they've been really helpful, and they're doing a good job.
I mean, it's the thing with BSB, with all the classes, is this massive depth of field, and that's no different in this class. All the lap times are incredibly close, So yeah, you've got to be talented to be out on this grid. This is the best in the UK. So I think, of course, the girls have got the right temperament and attitude, and they're out there doing it. That's the main thing.
To win the British Superbike Championship, you have to be committed everywhere. It doesn't happen otherwise. So with that commitment, there's the added risk and danger, and things inevitably go wrong from time to time, but that's the nature of the game.
The future is now. Women are already in the championship and they're already succeeding and already doing a fantastic job. So I don't think there's a future for women. I think we're living the future, to be honest with you.
I love Snetterton. It's one of my favourite tracks, and you know it's incredible to see so much fans here. And you know I have to say thank you so much for everyone. I've been walking back from hospitality and garage, and I get stopped by all you lot just saying thank you so much for what I've done to the team, and obviously the girls I'm helping at the moment. Thank you for all your support too. And you know without you fans, you know it's. You know, and everything that you guys say to me is so much rewarding to actually have this team and actually move forward with it. So thank you very much.
Unfortunately, we've not been to Setterton before. We're not on the 300 circuit, and I think she's just found it's a big circuit to learn in one day. Well, in one session, we only had one free practice, so. Her times kept tumbling down, and we went 2 seconds quicker this morning than yesterday, but unfortunately we're about a second and a half off qualifying, so you've got the 110% and we're just a fraction under that, so the rules are the rules, unfortunately, and I think it's more to do with insurance than the BSB rules. We've spoken to the people concerned and said, look, unfortunately, you've got to qualify in that 110%. We're a tiny fraction out, and it's less than 1% really, anyway. It's just one of them. That's the highs and lows, isn't it? Unfortunately, she's upset. She feels like she's let herself down and let me down, and let everyone else down. She hasn't. She's achieved great things in the last couple of years, and to come to a massive track like this and try and learn it in 1.5 hour session that we had yesterday is a big ask. So we're hoping to regroup the silver.
By Snetterton, well not even by Snetterton, by kind of like round 3 I felt like I was in a real good place with the bike, and when everything was right I could be challenging for wins and challenging for podiums, and yeah, when we go to a track like Snetterton where we've struggled at the previous year, but we rock up with our new bike and we've made a big step forward, that's nice for the whole team and myself and Jason.
So welcome back to RAF Snetterton Heath, the US Army Air Force base from 1943 to 1948, and suitably blustery, but what a beautiful day it is. So we're preparing to go 12 laps ahead of these guys, 12 laps in which to decide who's going to take home some podium points and who indeed is going to end up following the likes of James Whittam, twice winner of the Race of Aces here at Snetterton. Listen to those exhausts as they hit the throttle and howl down the road towards Richards, the huge first corner. So it's Mackenzie who's there in second place. Irwin's there being tackled by Gino Rear on the built-based Suzuki. Oh, and down goes Irwin! Irwin loses the Honda and crumples it through the grass, and O'Halloran and Mackenzie now take the lead. They come round now, and I think Jason is not quite close enough as they drop into the final left-hander at Murray's. If Mackenzie can keep... Oh, but he doesn't. He snakes. And remember, O'Halloran won a drag race 5 years ago up here to clinch his first ever victory. And here comes Bridewell. Here comes Bridewell. Bridewell, I think, might have nicked second place.
He did, definitely.
Bridewell is given second place by 0.069 of a second. Tarrant Mackenzie takes victory, chuffed with that second place. Bridewell third, O'Halloran fourth for Gino Rear.
If I've come off a track like Hadwell where I didn't race 2 of the races, I got real beaten up. There was other injuries other than my finger as well, and to come to a track like Snetterton where we struggled at the previous year, to bounce back there with a near perfect weekend, yeah, we couldn't have asked for much more.
One of the things that we have to be able to do is compartmentalize. There's many close calls that we have. It's startling. and it can be very upsetting. You have instinctive reactions, but you have to make the right decisions. Everything is about that subtle feel.
We're at the Silverstone final round of the regular season, and after this we head off to the showdown rounds. Motorcycle racing is on a rapid ascendancy with the participation of female riders in our junior super sport class alone. Something that always between 5 and 8 girls lining up on a regular basis. We've got the FHO racing team spearheaded by Asian entrepreneur Faye Ho. So it really is an exciting new era where much more gender equality in terms of participation on the grids and much more to come.
Yeah, the support's really helped me within confidence-wise, and her really pushing me and showing she believes in me also shows me I believe in myself as well. And knowing that I've got that backing just makes me want it even more.
Charlotte's relatively new to racing anyway, so her learning curve is massively steep, but she's really finding great progress all the time at the moment. The point with Charlotte is, what's really key is that her lap times come down, and that's exactly what she's doing. And she's out there battling with the best in this class in the country.
I've actually qualified this time, so I'm really happy, and I'm not far off the times off the people in front, so I just need to try and stick with them and hopefully beat a couple of them.
So it's all about just being in that fantastic place where everything's just working as it should. I mean, that's the ideal, and your focus is just 100% on trying to do well in the race. And obviously there's a lot going on around you, particularly in these races. There's a lot of drafting, a lot of following and passing, and so you really got a lot to contend with during these races. Charlotte had moved up to actually 13th position. She's obviously pushing for that top 10 place, and she's actually come off. We've been told that she's okay, so that's the main thing. And unfortunately, this is racing.
First race, not great. Charlotte qualified really well. In fact, the best qualifying we've had so far this year. Put it 24th on the grid. We were hopeful for a good race. Unfortunately, that race got red flagged. Heard that it was Charlotte that had gone down. I made my way straight down to the medical centre because obviously, with it being red flagged, you kind of expect the worst. Fortunately, whilst we were there, one of the medical team was obviously on the radio and managed to convey back to us that she was all right, but she'd basically hurt both her ankles. Didn't know if they were broken or anything. She's a tough cookie, bless her. We're going to be taking her to the hospital to get her checked over, have further x-rays to make sure she's all right, but she's in pretty good spirit.
Really didn't go to plan, got a good start, but on the first lap the bike just didn't really feel very good. I went to outbrake my teammate and the brakes just disappeared, so at that point I just automatically thought I've got to get off this, so jumped straight off, and next minute I know I'm in the tyre wall.
When we spoke to race direction, they actually said her reactions were spot on and she did exactly the right thing. And Charlotte was very conscious as well that Scarlett, her teammate, was literally right in front of her. She was coming up right behind her, and if Charlotte hadn't took the action that she did, she potentially could have took out Scarlett as well. So the girls done good really in tough situation. The bike's obviously a bit of a mess, but that's repairable. My main concern is that we get her fit. I think she's keen to try and get back for the last round.
The ups and downs of racing, it's a constant roller coaster. As long as she's okay, I'm sure she'll be super frustrated that she didn't get to finish that race. But yeah, just onwards and upwards to the next one.
As difficult as it may be sometimes, it's a privilege to be here. It's a privilege to do what we do. It's an incredible responsibility.
Silverstone is a track that's notoriously good for the Yamaha. I don't know why, but it is. There's been a couple of occasions where I've crashed or broke down, but other than that, I've always finished on the podium or won. And it's the same for Jason. It's a track where we know we can win and we can gain a good advantage over the others. So it's about maximising that. And And again, we want the same thing, we want the same bit of tarmac. I want to beat him, he wants to beat me.
Championship leader Jason O'Halloran it is that sits on pole position for this crucial 8th round of the British Superbike Championship. Alongside him will sit his teammate Taron McKenzie on the number 95.
Here we go, off the line then, 24 laps ahead of him, and almost inevitably the McCams Yamahas lead the way, but a big moment there through the first turn for Gino Rea as he scorches through from the second row of the grid. Oh! That's not what Peter Hickman wanted.
That's it, Kate, and he didn't need that. Oh.
So that was a shoulder charge of a kind, a bump of the shoulders that put down Peter Hickman then, and the tall linkage goes down, and instantly that creates a bit of a hole in the pack that was so rammed together. McKenzie looks underneath Jason O'Halloran. He wants those 5 points if he's going to take the champion. Oh! And he's gone down! And history repeats itself! Only this time, both the McCams Yamahas go down and out. And suddenly it's wide open.
What?
As they went into the final lap then, it's a collision between McCams Yamahas. Glenn Irwin leads it. A second place Christian Hidden. Third place for Tommy Bridewell.
They need to get their flags out because Jason was in a real precarious position.
It looks like the guys are all right.
It does, yeah.
Which is so real.
That is the main thing, look.
At that point when I crashed, I thought, Jason's going to win now. This is annoying because this is a good track where I could have gained a couple of podium credits back on him. But what was the most unfortunate thing was that Jason went down as well. He clipped the bike and went down. Both ended up in the medical centre. We should be 1-2 and we're both in the medical centre. It's tough for the whole team. The team had such an amazing year up until that point, and I think when they had a bad result it was like, oh my God, it's the end of the world, like that's it, it's ruined. It's just one of those things. If I'd taken down Tommy Bridewell or Christian Hidden, it probably would have been fine. Not from Tommy or Christian's point of view, but as a team point of view from McCams Yamaha, it would have been you okay, let's try and get you ready for Sunday. But because both of us went down, it was tough.
There is Mudbuster himself, Josh Brooks, the reigning champion. Not for much longer. And off the grid they come. Ooh, what?
He's gone wide up. He had to go wide there.
And
that's Ryan Vickers.
Ryan Vickers way wide as well. Oh, and there's the move by Taron McKenzie going into Cop's corner. Brooks immediately tries to respond. Taron McKenzie then grabs it by 0.08 of a second across the line. So more to play for here. 30 laps ahead of them. The Yamahas, the killer Yamahas are on the front row of the grid.
Here comes Brooks, here comes Brooks.
Oh, up the inside of...
lad.
Well, Brooks then, Vision Track Ducati moves into the lead. Brooks goes wide and drops away from the Yamahas. O'Halloran takes victory. Championship standings of this sector, this three-quarter season distance, confirm these men as the top 8 for the showdown that kicks in at Oulton Park in a fortnight's time.
Going from yesterday and then today with a win and a second and close to another win as well is incredible. I was in a bad way last night, so to wake up today and kind of grit my teeth and bear it and try and get some more podium credits was what I was hoping for. So really happy with today's work and looking forward to Oulton Park.
The number one factor is belief in what you are going to do. You have to have a drive that isn't manufactured. Talent is another factor, and the right mindset. You know, the ability to be able to bring that all together, because I just have to.
It's the showdown. It is the British Superbike Championship from Oulton Park. It's the first one of the showdown, and we hold. Go! What a start from the middle of the grid that was indeed. A great start from Jason O'Halloran. He got the Yamaha off the line perfectly.
There's 8 riders with a minimal points difference between them, and any major advantage that they may have accrued in the first part of the season is massively reduced. But it's still an advantage, and the critical thing about the showdown is mistakes are more punished.
this part of the season, because the ability to not score will mean that your immediate rivals will likely overtake you in the standings, and any advantage you may have had can be literally reduced to next to nothing.
Me finishing 18th at the Alton Test, I'm sure a lot of people wrote me off. We went into the second chicane, kind of saw this blue flash slide past in front of me, and I didn't really think anything of it, and then as I went up Clay Hill, I realised it was Jason that had crashed, and couldn't believe it, because at that point you're no longer racing for 5 points, you're racing for 25. I'm 30 points behind. It's a 25-point chance that I could get, that I could nail it down to 5 points.
Tara McKenzie is going to take the win. Tara McKenzie is only 5 pence short of his teammate Jason O'Halloran in the first of the showdown races. Only 5 points between them. Brooks has come in home second, the 2 PBM Ducatis second and third. Ready then for race 2 here. It's the showdown race 2 of 9. The red lights are on. When they go out, we go! And straight away, great start from the middle of the grid there as well. So watch out for Josh Brooks.
He had glimpses where he was strong, and I never discounted him. I just always thought that Josh was always going to be there, and he got into it, and at that point, the first race when he finished second, nearly won it, I thought, God, there is a chance that he could actually still win this.
Bridewell takes the British Superbike race here, the second race of the day. In second place is O'Halloran. There's Brooks stomping off. Iden gets 4th place. Wow. When the red lights go out, we are underway for the third race in the showdown. A little bit of a jump for the middle of the start there, but I don't think that'll make anything different from the race direction as Tommy Bridewell drops it into turn 1. Oh, hang on. Who's that? 22. That is O'Halloran again. O'Halloran is down. O'Halloran has crashed again. Bridewell will leap out of Deersley to take the win by an absolute country a mile. Tara McKenzie then, 2-point lead for him over his teammate Jason O'Halloran. Tommy Bridewell, 9.
At Donington Park in October, our second visit to track, this time on the Grand Prix circuit. Temperature plummeted down to about 10 degrees. Weather warnings all around the country.
We thought this twist in the title race couldn't get any more dramatic. The weather throws another curveball at the British Superbike Championship here at Donington Park.
Charlotte is doing very well. She's actually walking. I mean, incredible how well she's doing. Obviously, she's not riding this weekend at Donington, but we're here with Scarlett and in a very rainy Donington. But yeah, we'll see how she does. I mean, you know, it's very tricky conditions. We'll just have to wait and see how it all goes.
This is a bit of a scary one today because we've not had a wet race this season, and it's quite nerve-wracking. And it's my little girl on there, but she's quite sensible and she keeps it upright, and hopefully come home in one piece and save me a load of repair work later.
It's our first round we've done in the wet this year, so I'm a bit nervous, but I just need to keep it upright and hopefully just have a good smooth race.
I do hope this is not going to be a crash fest. The conditions here all day have been absolutely dreadful.
I didn't really know what to expect. Obviously I'd not had much practice all year in the wet. Straight away my visor just completely fogged up, so I couldn't see anything. So I had to keep putting my visor up, and it was just so slippy. Like, I had so many moments, so it was just a case of staying on the bike and keeping it upright, and then I ended up coming back in 19th, which is my best finish of the year, so I was really happy.
This season my best result was 19th. Unfortunately at Silverstone I was on for top 15 and with some points, but unfortunately it came off. I come round to Druids and I pulled the brake in and I didn't have any brakes, so I automatically, first reaction, just jumped off. Yeah, next minute I know I was in the air fence. They were hoping I would like walk away from it, but I was in too much pain with my feet, so I went off in the ambulance and got them to check me over and got x-rays done as well, but nothing's broken, just heavily bruised. At Brands, I'm definitely aiming for 15, yeah.
I think the brand association has basically raised our profile. It's made people sit up and take notice that there are some good little young girl races out there that that mean business really. I think in terms of the sponsorship and attention that she's getting and notice in the paddock is massive. I mean, even on TV now when they're talking about the girls, they say, oh, it's one of the FHO girls, and it's really good. We've had a couple of new sponsors come on board purely as a direct result of FHO. Faye's helping us quite a bit. We've kind of been winging it for the last couple of years and having a bit of fun, and things are just getting a little bit more serious, and for that reason you really need some really good people around you, and I think we've got that in the FHO team.
Every round I've had a couple of girls come up to me and actually want to speak to me about riding bikes and stuff. There was a girl at the last round who came up, like 7 years old, and she was just like blown away with like what me and Charlotte are doing, and she was looking at the bike and she was like, she really wanted to get into it.
When the lights go out, we go! And straight down the red gate. Good start from all of them, I've got to say.
It was real cold, quite windy, the lap times weren't that fast. I just picked them off one by one and managed to get into a podium position, and I just felt like it was like now or never, and I just passed Danny on the second to last lap and put together a real clean last lap, which won me the race. And Jason finished ninth for whatever reason. He was on a different tyre to me, but I don't know if that was the issue or not, I'm not sure, but yeah, gained a lot of points on him, and then it suddenly went from going into Donington with a 2-point lead to now I've got 18 points. I've got 18 points to play with now. I can play it safe and maybe lose a couple to Jason and Tommy, or I can try and go with him. The first lap or 2 laps was real good, and then went into the chicane and the bike broke down. And it was just a small electrical problem. It wasn't anyone's fault, and it was our first technical of the year.
Gino Rea then strides to the line and the checkered flag. He takes race 3 here in the British Superbike Championship. Nice little wheelie over the line.
And that was that, and that 18 points got then taken down to 10 points because Jason finished 8th. And yeah, at that point, I kind of, after race 1 on the Sunday, I thought this championship's mine to lose now, and then when it went down to 10 points I thought, am I meant to win this or not? I couldn't really tell what was going on.
You have to be willing to be a great champion, or to be a champion at all. It is completely controlled by the mindset. It's the willingness to be able to risk it all, but have the discipline to be able to control it.
We come down to the final weekend. It's a classic Brands Hatch October, mixed bag of weather promised.
So we gone for a wet front option with a dry rear in the hope it's looking pretty dodgy out the back there with the rain, so we're hoping we're on the right tyre choice, so everyone else seems to be going with a dry front.
We qualified this morning, again in tricky conditions really. Managed to get on the grid, which is our goal this year, is to get onto every grid. And yeah, she's feeling good. I think she's quite up for a bit of a challenge this weekend. It's the last round of the season. I said, don't worry about binning it. Bin it or win it, and see how we go on.
I'm so pleased with them, and I'm just really happy for them. I think they did so well, and very pleased.
I love Brands. It is a really good track. It's very bumpy, I must say, like around the back section definitely, but I do love the track. I did start quite far back on the grid because I had some problems in qualifying, but managed to get quite far up and then work my way up to 18th in the end, and I was fighting in the battle for 15th, which was really good, but just they managed to pick me at the end.
It's my first race meeting at Brands, and I love the track. It's so fast and flowing, but it's like technical as well. I feel like it's hard to kind of like put a fast lap time in, but I probably had my best race of the season in terms of like results and like actually like battling with people. I started at the back of the grid and I picked off about 5 or 6 riders, so I got 20th.
You can see the faces of like on their faces how they want to actually try and get to the front of the pack and actually do well. I'm very happy to actually supporting them again next year.
We have Anna Carrasco in the 300 class, but we have no one in Supersport yet and no one in the Superbike class. And be the first female British Superbike champions and then first World Superbike champions. And I think if anyone's going to do it, Faye's the girl to run the team to do it.
You have to bide your time and just be patient enough and disciplined enough, which usually only comes with experience, to kind of stay in there and just keep it close, and then you never know what can happen.
So it all comes down to this. This place has seen some epic ends to the British Superbike Championship. It's Brands Hatch, and no less than 4 riders can still win this championship. Christian Hidden, Tara McKenzie, Jason O'Halloran and Tommy Bridewell. You could not write this script. It's everything still to play for. Who is going to carry off the championship?
The showdown, the finale here at Brands Hatch for the Bennett's British Superbike Championship. This is where it all ends this season. 16 laps, 39 miles. It's the Bennett's British Superbike Championship finale. We have 3 races. This is the first, just 16 laps, 220 lappers tomorrow. Lights out, who's it going to be? Pole position, Luke Motti. Oh, not a great start for him. Middle of the Christian Hidden got an absolute flyer there.
Yeah,
he looks so smooth. He does lose the front a little bit there.
At his best, it looks lovely.
Oh,
that's a big...
That could be a red flag because the barrier is broken. Christian Hidden can hold them all up now, but he's gone already. Last corner, last lap. It's going to be Taz McKenzie barring a mistake. Look at Tommy Bridewell trying to find some drive from somewhere, but he won't be able to get the grit to get past Taz McKenzie. Taz McKenzie, 25 points, 1 hand on the trophy. He wins the first race of the weekend here in the Bennett's British Superbike Championship.
I just managed to ride my own race. The pace was actually quicker than it was at the start of the year in colder conditions, which was strange, but I felt really comfortable at the front. Just kept concentrating. I knew if I could get down that back straight on that last lap without Tommy passing me, then I could have a good go at getting the win. So to do that is amazing. To extend the championship leads even better. That was today's goal, to go out there and try and win and extend that points lead, however big or small it was. So to be 22 points in front is amazing, but it's there's 50 up for grabs tomorrow, so anything can happen. But yeah, just in a really good place and sleep well tonight.
I'll see how the race pans out. I felt really good yesterday in the first race. I'm just really happy to get another victory. So yeah, get a good start, see where we are off the grid, and then just play it by ear.
The tension here is palpable here at Brands Hatch. You can feel it out on the track when you walk about in amongst all of the fans here. Everybody is feeling it this final round, James.
Really bit of anticipation. The people are just, they can't wait to see what's going to happen, and we don't know.
No, nobody knows. A massive crowd here then for race 32 of the 33 races of the Bennett's British Superbike Championship. Who's it going to be that's going to go into the final race with the big points advantage? Will it be Tara McKenzie? The lights are out, we go! Race 32, oh, bit of a bad start from Tommy Bridewell. It really did bog down on him there on the 46 bike, and he slipped back into 3rd place now. Tara McKenzie gets an absolute flyer, and up alongside him is Christian Hidden as they go up towards Druids for the first time. Oh, right out on the dirt. You don't want to be out there. It's been wet all day, and there have been some big accidents on that corner because of the water on the white line. The 2 FS3 Kawasaki's battling together of Lee Bob Jackson and Rory Skinner. Skinner on the 69 machine. Oh, hang on, big enough there.
That's Dean Harrison. Dean's up again.
Bjorn Espen and Dean Harrison.
You can see Dean waving his arms about, and he's a fairly calm lad, is Dean, and he's a good, safe rider as well. So obviously been some kind of incident between the two. That said, and that's Bjorn Espen, number 27 on the Suzuki, and he is as well. He's not a dangerous rider.
Oh, they got tangled. Look at this. He lost it underneath him. Wow.
Yeah, they've gone in together, and actually that didn't go wrong as quickly as what I thought it might.
Druids dropping down the hill again into the braking area. It's just at the moment, it's like all of a sudden they've realised they've got a lot of race left to go, and everyone's just conserving tyres a little bit, perhaps.
You've got to do. It's so difficult though when you're riding with somebody. You dash
dearie me.
That might be a safety car. That's
Skinner and Irwin.
That's Andy Irwin and Rory Skinner. That is.
And he started from the 4th row of the grid. Let's take another look at the crash there coming. Oh, dearie me. We saw a bit of that yesterday. Tommy Bridewell almost had him in the same way. That's
both
of them. Both the FS3 guys.
Yeah, that's Jacko on the ground.
Jacko's down as well as Skinner.
Here we go.
Here's McKenzie up the inside at Paddock Hill Bend. Nicely done. He's run him out wide as well. Well, you would have thought the Bridewell would have got the cut back there, but he wasn't able to because it was a block pass.
And there is flags out. Look at Neil in the garage. He's got his hood. He's got his seat pulled up.
That's his tear catcher. So, still leading then is McKenzie now. This is the same area. We're coming up to Sterling's corner now. This is the Sterling's corner, and through has gone Bridewell. Bridewell this time goes through on Mackenzie. Mackenzie just a little reticent perhaps after what happened to him a lap earlier.
I don't know, it was a great move. I thought that Tommy might just have run wide, and Mackenzie
Ooh.
expected that because he went for the cutback, didn't he?
Whether you're right or right, don't matter. Bridewell's out front and Mackenzie's right behind him now. So let's see what Taz Mackenzie has got in response. We're on lap 16 of 20. He hooked up all right. He ain't going to get it at Paddock Hill Bend where we are now, but it looked like Bridewell was a bit defensive going in there, and that's going to give the cut back to... Yes, he has. Bridewell was defensive, and that's wrong. Here comes Mackenzie, and that was all Bridewell's fault. He went defensive at Paddock Hill, got it spinning on the way out of Paddock Hill up towards Druids, and lost the place by the fact he had no grip. Tara Mackenzie, cleverly, that Yamaha, he just put it in the right place and drove past him. Mirror signal manoeuvre.
Yeah, but he was in the right place as well, wasn't he? It was actually Bridewell. Oh, here we go.
Up into 30s.
Has he gone wide? No, he's good there, it's Tommy.
Every time, pulls it back then. Right, drag race, down the back straight, up to 180 mile an hour, maybe a bit more if you get a bit of slipstream as well. And he's got it, slipstream. Mackenzie, can't see him passing Bridewell at Hawthorn though. Oh, he nearly ran into him.
Oh,
that was nearly a knee on the back wheel. Oh, brave stuff from Mackenzie. He wants to win this.
Yeah,
he does not want to finish second, does he? I thought
He
maybe...
tried to drive under Tommy there. Tommy's a bit defensive.
He was, really defensive. Down Dingledale. Right, there's an opportunity.
Not a big one.
Not.
Here's your last major opportunity. Tommy goes defensive. Will that cost him time going out of the corner?
It will cost him time, but has he got to drive Mackenzie? It looks like Bridewell's got it done, but Mackenzie's aiming to the inside. He's going to go wide now, Mackenzie, to try and get the drive out of clearways. This is it. We're heading towards the line. He runs up out wide. Mackenzie's going to get it done. Tara Mackenzie, absolutely outstanding, will win the 32nd Bennett's British Superbike race. He's done it. He is the champion.
He's a champ.
Steve Rogers knows it. And they have been thwarted at the Oxford Products Ducati team. It is Tara Mackenzie, 2021 Bennett's British Superbike champion. Dad Neil, Mum Jan, and everybody else in the Macams team are celebrating.
What
a
a ride that
fantastic
was.
it was. He absolutely, what he did was he stuck to his guns on the right line. Tommy made the odd mistake trying to ride defensively. Taz put himself in the right position. Absolutely outstanding. Okay, burnout time. Pirelli, we need you no longer, really. We'll take another set for race 33 that will be coming up later, of course. Great scenes, that's for sure. Let's take a look at the results as the golden helmet goes on the #1 bike and a one-handed wheelie just to finish off with. Perfect. You can't get better than that. So as Taz Mackenzie starts to enjoy things, because he is the 2021 Bennett's British Superbike champion after 32 races.
Yeah, he never feels to amaze me. He's been one that's been calm all weekend. We've all been stressing but not showing it. He had a plan, he made it happen. So, yeah, a bit special that. I'm impressed. Yeah.
And the championship. There's Taylor Mackenzie, brother of course, and as you will have heard me say several times, what a dramatic retirement from his career.
Lee Johnston,
at the end of this,
another good mate of theirs.
This year, when he retires after his ride in the National Super Stocks, that's Taylor there.
Obviously this is set up, they've got the T-shirts, they've got the #1 plate, the gold helmet.
Yeah, it's always difficult trying to pull a T-shirt on over a helmet. So
Chris Anderson's a big lad though, he can manage it.
He'd pull your head off.
He would as well.
You've spent that entire time and then you get to that pinnacle. Afterwards, it's a relief, but it's almost serenity in many ways. It's perfect.
It was probably a relief, I'd say. It was probably more because of the season, the way it panned out. 11 races in 15 weeks, like, it was an intense season, 3 races a weekend, which we'd never had every round before. Breaking my finger, breaking my hand, breaking my wrist. I think it all adds to the emotion of trying to win it, and when you get so close to so close to winning it, you just want to be able to do it, and at that point, I think all this pressure, stress, and emotion builds up in you, and then when you finally do it, it's like, oh my God, I've done it.
It's more stressful, exciting, maybe even satisfying for the family when it's your child than it is when it's yourself. When it's your own destiny, you're kind of in control. But when you've kind of guided guided someone through, and they've managed, especially when it's a relation, and they've managed to kind of pull it off. It is relief. It's immensely satisfying. And for my wife Jan as well, she's the same. She's like much more emotional and nervous and excited when Taz is racing than I ever was. Like she says, you can replace your husband, but you can never replace your children. So
at the very start of the year, being the 25th anniversary, you kind of think, I wonder how the season will play out, and all the references back to 1996 showed a picture of a purple Cadbury's Boost Yamaha with a rider with some hair at the time called Noel Mackenzie. And you kind of mused how it'd be nice if his son could bookend that by winning the 2021 version of the championship.
At the start of the season, we just never even thought about it, and then it got to the showdown, and me and Jason started recreating pictures of Dad and Whit back in the day in 1996. There was a few things that happened that was just a bit strange, like we went into Donington going into the first race on the Sunday on equal points, which is what happened with Dad and Whit back in the day at the final round, both on Yamahas. And yeah, at Donington, when I left with a points lead, there was a few interviews like, if you do it 25 years on, like what a fairy tale it's going to be. And I just didn't really want to think about it. There's been a lot of hard work gone in over the years with Mum and Dad sacrificing a lot for me and Taylor to go racing, and at the end of the day, with personal sponsors and everyone, the goal is to always try and win. And yeah, when you finally do it, for the team, sponsors, Yamaha, but then also your family, and then with it being 25 years on it just made it that little bit special, and then kind of think maybe it was meant to be.
Surreal as it is, I didn't quite see that coming, didn't really think what it all meant until we eventually got the job done. It was a fairy tale, but the chances of it happening were 1,000,000 to 1 or 0, but for some reason it happened. What was incredible was the round before at Donington Park. At one point over the weekend, Jason and Taz ended up on equal points with 2 Ducatis behind them in the championship, and that's what happened to James Whittam and myself back in '96. We went to Donington Park on equal points with 2 Ducatis behind us in the championship. So it's quite special for lots of reasons, but I certainly never envisaged that it could happen.
This year has been really, really good. I would say it's probably my most successful BSB year to date. Even though actually I finished 5th, and in 2017 I finished 4th, so the result technically was higher. I still think I had a better year this year, a more consistent year of being strong at every single round, and being pretty much the top BMW all year as well, which is obviously a big target for us, being a BMW team.
I have to say it, you know, owning a team in racing, any sort of racing, car racing, bike racing, anything, it's like a bit of a drug. You kind of get addicted to it. I really enjoyed it this year, and I will be coming back again in 2022.
Now I think I probably am more motivated to try and do it again, because it's one thing thinking you can do it and hoping you can do it, and it's another thing actually doing it. So to actually do it now is great, and I know what it takes to do it. And I think for me now, I've got other goals in bike racing, but I'm employed to try and win the championship, and I know I can do it now. And coming back next year in the same bike, same team, same teammate, I know that I've got every chance of winning it, and maybe I am going in as the favourite, I don't know. But yeah, there is definitely a lot of motivation to come back and try and do it. 25 years on from Dad's 2nd championship.
through now. The race is run.